So now, let's listen to how Public tried to educate these Negroes, how he clocked these Negroes, and how the whole show could have been ended right then and there. Listen to this shit.
But anyway, so men aren't really about that. Will already said, he said men are about, we like a hierarchy, right? Which hierarchies are inherently bad for people that are not at the top of the hierarchy. Everybody that's not at the top of the hierarchy inherently gets taken advantage of. And that's odd that people, working class people, that are being taken advantage of right now, to this right in this day, we exist in a hierarchy where we're being taken advantage of, but yet we still perpetuate the idea and the concept of a hierarchy. I don't get it. But to some extent, it makes sense because when you are abused in the world every day, all day, right, at work, you're abused, you know what I'm saying, by the system, you beat up by the system as a working class man. A lot of men just want to go home and do that same stuff to their wife and their kids, and their dogs and their cats and their lizards.
No pause. Public is shady as a motherfucker. He know damn well them men got a hold to that damn lot lizard and assaulted that lot lizard and unalived it. And the fact that he's and the fact that he said and they lizards, he knew what he was doing.
A lot of men get off on that. So I hear a lot of that in what y'all saying. Y'all want to go home, and since you ain't have no power in the real world, now you want to go and be the white man at your house. And that's cool if you want to do that. I personally am against that, though.
How do you know?
I like working in the community with my people.
How do you know men get off of getting off of work and lashing out on their family when they get in the house?
Sir, because the statistics tell us so, especially about you Negroes who don't have no real place in society, so you try to assert that shit at home.
I just ain't lashing out.
Well, what did you say?
I'm saying that men like to go home and exert their dominance and control over their family, and that's what these men are talking about doing. You can. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you say it's only when he goes home from work that he exerts. It's not.
Can't do it nowhere else.
So it's not like something that's constant or static.
I mean, you can't do it when you're not there, right? To some degree, I guess you can, but mainly you do it when you're at home.
Oh, my bad, Viz. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So, in what society was
y'all gonna let that nigga skate without proving that claim?
Well, I was.
Will, listen, Will is a clown, okay? That man y'all gotta go watch this shit. It's on YouTube. It's under the Lapeef Network. It's called The Male Feminist Triggers Patriarchal Man. Y'all are gonna have a great time watching how bad Public literally had picking and choosing on his motherfucking toes. He had this man so damn bothered. He just set up and said, so y'all gonna let him get away with this without proving that? Sir, it's proven in the statistics. It's proven every day with everything in the black community and even just in other communities. It's proven.
Wiz wanted to go in there, so I was just gonna let him go because I don't want to.
So in what?
I don't want to turn.
In what society was hierarchy not a thing? I think in every community, even if you look at the ancient tribes, they still had the elders that was at the top of the hierarchy. Somebody was at the top of the hierarchy throughout every society that we can think of and have ever been exposed to. So which ones are you speaking on exactly? You're on mute.
Hold on, Will.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so egalitarian societies by name, I can't think of the name of the one right now, but there's actually one in Africa it was ran by a woman or by women.
Ashanti. The Ashanti.
Oh, it could be that. Yeah, that sounds right. Whatever.
No, look it up. It's the Ashanti.
So
cool.
you say
that could be that could be their name. I'm not. You might be right. I'm not denying or confirming. I'm just saying you might be right. But nonetheless, though, they don't they separated themselves from men because men are inherently dangerous to women right now. So that was number one, and they operate more like as a commune, right? They operate in an egalitarian system. And that's happening right now. Yeah.
Men cannot handle the fact that people want to be separate from them. They literally start to crash out as soon as anybody talks about separating from men. Men cannot handle being separate from them. They can't handle being outcast, even though they don't want to change their fucking behaviors. So as soon as public started talking about this issue, these dudes immediately got triggered and started damn near like having a soft crash out. Will gonna definitely crash out, but they started having a soft crash out. Just keep listening.
So amongst all of those women, there's no hierarchy amongst the women.
No, and the thing is, I think that I know this is a hard concept for us to wrap our brains around, because it's like telling Americans we don't need money, right? Like the concept of money, or we don't need patriarchy, or we don't need capitalism. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's really hard, and I'm not even joking. That we don't need prison.
No, that's not hard. That's not a hard
I'm not
concept.
saying it for you, brother. I'm saying in general it is hard though. I do think it's hard for most Americans, and that's on purpose. But
Wait, so in this society, is there no men in this society that they're talking
See? Listen to Will. He pissed.
about?
yeah, they got rid of the men. They literally.
So it's an egalitarian society.
It's not true.
One sided. So explain to me an egalitarian society.
Men cannot handle the fact that they are not needed. They are only wanted. Nobody needs somebody to be around them that has little value, that tries to pump themselves up to be something more than what they really truly are. You cannot even do half the things that women can do without sweating, without bitching, complaining, moaning, and all of this other shit. But now you want to sit up here and get upset because he's trying to tell you about a society that did not need men. Nobody needs men. Literally, y'all are disposable. That's the reason why they send y'all off to war first. Y'all have so much testosterone. Y'all have these horrible ass egos. Y'all have these horrible ass attitudes. You don't want to learn. You don't want to evolve. Literally, nobody wants to be around men. Y'all are miserable as fuck. And just the thought of men knowing this, they're having a hard time hearing it.
That no men are at, but you want to call it an egalitarian. You ostracize all of the men.
Correct.
Yeah, you want to call it egalitarian.
Now, the crazy part about this is men don't have no problem treating women as second-class citizens. The very people that got their asses here on earth, they have absolutely no problem treating women the way that they do. They have absolutely no problem with women not having a real place in society, which is what men did. That's not even real. They have absolutely no problem with women being subjugated. They have no problem at all whatsoever with the way that women are being treated. They have no problem with it. But as soon as you start talking that same language of them being treated the same way that women were treated, and basically bypassing men, basically putting them to the side, now all of a sudden it's a problem. You see how narcissistic men are? The only time they give a fuck about unfair treatment is when it applies to them.
This is acid.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna be done talking for a second, because
So it says that egalitarian society is one that believes all people are equal and should have the same rights and opportunities.
but they ostracize all the men.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it's okay for patriarchal society right now to ostracize women to the point where they took women's rights. So y'all as men can't even handle listening to the thought of what the fuck an egalitarian society is, but y'all can't fathom the fact that there has been a past, there is actually a present, and is going even into the future of women's rights being taken, of women not having reproductive rights, all kind of shit, women not being treated fairly. It's just all of this stuff. And just off of the thought of having this conversation, these grown ass men can't even compose themselves. That's wild.